So Hot Takes, the hottest sports betting podcast on the planet.
I'm Sam.
I'm Luke.
And I'm Sean.
Welcome back to Not So Hot Takes. Fellas, we're back. Luke's out on a work trip right now. He's having a grand time over in, Michigan right now?
Yeah, I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan, in the Shout Out Courtyard Marriott. Really nice gym. Really nice place. Got a king bed right behind me.
Really expensive beer.
Dude, insane. $7.50 for a bottle of Michelob's. Insane.
That's like a bar beer, dude. That's terrible.
Bro, the Michigan sales tax like $2. Or 2%. I went to Texas Roadhouse, had a nice meal. Sales tax was 2%, cheap beers, and I was like, I'm gonna keep the party going on this Wednesday night.
Shit, no invite?
Is that a Busch Light, dude?
Busch Latte?
Dude, 6 tall boys for $6.57.
Holy shit.
Well,
bring some back.
Yeah.
If you hear some bad takes on the side of Luke Weaver tonight, you know why. You know who to blame, and his name is
I gotta
Bush.
clear it. I gotta get up for work in the morning. I gotta run a job site. So
That's great to announce after
staying
having
down.
how many beers?
Just hair the dog in the morning, man.
Yeah.
right.
All right, so fellas,
All right, NFL.
if you can't tell, me and Sean are both wearing a losing team's jersey. You're right. It's the Bengals. I'm wearing a Joe Burrow jersey, and he's wearing a Taylor Britt jersey.
I'm wearing a Cam Taylor wash jersey because he sucks.
We lost. Last week I had a bad week, 5-11-1, one push. But in NFL alone, I had a pretty scary week. I think it was about, 3-8 we're looking at. Not great.
It's ugly.
We'll get down to the games, though.
I'll just say I didn't lose this. I lost 2 weeks ago, but I didn't have a punishment last week. Even though we were all over 500 that week, so kind of a respectable loss.
Yeah,
that's why I get to wear my team's jersey. It's just someone who blows. So
no clown noses, nothing crazy.
Just to get out ahead of that. I don't know why I gave him the Burrow jersey. If you couldn't have guessed, that's also my jersey in my house with my mic and my computer. I mean, you're just
all right, dude. Just dick eating. All right.
My fault. I got gassed up.
Yeah, you did. I'll just go through the terrible week here.
No good, very bad, terrible week.
Yeah. A series of misfortunate events. Indianapolis and New York Jets. Under 44. This went to 55, I believe. Aaron Rodgers has 7 pass yards in the first half, and then all of a sudden lights a fire under his old ass and scores 27. Fuck the Jets. Never betting on them again. I also had a -3. I didn't even want to take it. I accidentally said it on the pod, but just so I
come on,
remained honest. I took them. I took them for you guys, and I lost. So I took one for the team.
Now he's in the Burrow jersey.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Cleveland, New Orleans, under 44.5. Didn't see this coming. I mean, 2 supposed to be pretty decent defenses. The Saints just dog walk them. I think it was 35-14.
Yeah, 35-14. Taysom Hill's a god.
Just a joke, that'll lead into some later bets, which the lines just don't make sense, especially with this Cleveland team. But San Fran -6.5. They lost outright. I had them in a big teaser, huge, biggest teaser you could think of.
The fucking worst teaser ever. The worst teaser ever.
No, you're thinking of the wrong one, dude.
Bro, am I?
That wasn't my. Yeah, the teaser we had went 2-3.
No,
2-1.
it went 1.
That's 0-1, brother.
Shut the fuck up.
That would be 0-1.
San Fran, Geno Smith, he ran the ball in 18 yards.
Bro,
he ran it in himself.
He waltzed in. He wasn't even sprinting at the end. He was just waltzed in.
Heartbreak. Another heartbreak in Atlanta. This is what we're talking about, the teaser. +8.5. I thought this game would be close. Like, it made no sense that Bo Nix comes out and just absolutely dog walks him.
He's the miracles on
simultaneously killing the Jaden Daniels Rookie of the Year hopes. Like, he's just a monster right now.
Yo, I bet on him. I got his.
I think Bo Nix is the front runner.
There's no way.
There's no way.
I think he's moved up.
Daniels had one bad week.
I think he's moved up. Let's check.
He's got to be still behind Jaden Daniels.
Hang on, I have it.
We can check. I know I've been seeing tweets and I've been seeing a bunch of different blog posts about how he could be the front runner.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, the front runner, Jaden Daniels is -450.
Yep, so
He's
close.
minus 450.
Bo Nix is plus 320.
So Bo's gonna have to have
Is
four
he the
straight good
second?
weeks.
Is he the second?
Yes, he's the second.
I mean, if he keeps his,
Where's
if they
Cooper
keep
DeJean
rolling
on
at this
that?
pace.
That's offensive, brother.
Anyways,
Idiot. Exciting whites.
we'll go. That's an amazing shirt.
The Crackerbacks.
I love those.
All right. Cincinnati, Los Angeles Chargers win over 48. I mean, we thought this game was going to go over. It was a shootout the entire time. McPherson is the terrorist of the week.
I don't even know if he is.
All the
No,
kickers
he's
are.
not. No, he's
All
not.
the
He's not.
kickers are.
He's not the terrorist. There's some.
No, we have some bad ones. The teaser lost, like we just said. Miami, Las Vegas, Raiders under 44. It was looking pretty good until the Raiders decided to put up a fight for absolutely no reason, and it went over. Minnesota, Tennessee under 39.5. It was free. Minnesota has not been scoring a lot of points. Tennessee never scores points. So we walked away happy with that one. Detroit minus 13 was an ultra mega mortal max. That was also my mortal max of the week, mortal lock. And I mean, I put 5 units on it, so it came out pretty. Last one we had was Baltimore, Pittsburgh over 48. Loss. I mean, I guess history repeats itself. I've got no idea. They win on, was it all field goals? 6 field goals
Yep.
again.
13 this year to win without a touchdown.
Chris Boswell has
Yeah, they were
scored
the
more
first,
fantasy
too.
points than A.J. Brown, Jonathan Taylor. There's like a bunch of big names that he's had more fantasy points than.
He would be tight end 1 in fantasy right now.
He would be.
Yeah.
He averages 12 a week. But that's it. A little bit of a rocky NFL week, but I'm not deterred by anything. I still went after it this week.
That's the way to go. You can't be
Dude.
one bad week. You cannot be deterred.
No,
you cannot,
look.
it's a long season. We
Look,
still have a ton of weeks left.
Sometimes you land on heads. Sometimes you land on tails. Sometimes you get hit by a fucking truck. Who cares? Sean, Luke, who wants the reins?
Luke,
Let's
you go.
Get into it.
All right, I'll go into the reins. Okay, so in my NFL week, I went 6-4. Overall, went 10-6. So breaking down, first loss of the week was Miami, Las Vegas under 44.5. I decided to ride that because I can't turn down a threesome. But in all honesty, I would have never taken this bet if it weren't for the threesome. I got enticed by a threesome.
This guy's an asshole.
So Sam didn't want to take the Jets. Weaver didn't want to take this under. Everyone.
Roll the clip. Weaver goes, I really like that. I actually really like that.
No.
Roll the clip.
So then we got Falcons plus 2.5.
Close.
Mollywopped. Bo Nix is another exciting white that it's fun to see. I think that the AFC West is exciting right now. I think there's a lot of good teams. I mean, at least 2 of the teams really. I would say argue 3 with the Chargers coming off the rear. So it's exciting out of there. Then I had Cincinnati, Los Angeles Chargers. I guess that was my lock, my mortal. 46 over 46.5. Shout out Ken if he's listening to this, my coworker. I give him my mortal lock of the week every week for him to throw in a parlay with his bowling buddies, and it's hit 2 weeks in a row now. So shout out. And then Saints minus 1.5. Taysom Hill, the White Knight from BYU. Just an absolute monster. Sat him on my bench in fantasy. Didn't matter. Still won. I would have scored 180 points if I did.
Weaver's
I did
fantasy
play him.
update of the week that no one asked
This
for.
guy. Hey, by the way, my dog took a shit yesterday and it was soft. Nobody cares, dude.
But yeah, Taysom Hill's a monster. I never really had any doubts in this game. Everybody was just pulling up stats of teams in this spot, this and that. I bet with my balls, and my balls knew what was up. The only thing I have now is the dilemma is that I want the Saints to lose out still because we could do so well with a really good pick this year, but we're not. And what's going to happen is behind Dan Rizzi, we're gonna fucking win a bunch of games, and we're probably either going to finish a game outside the playoff or make a fucking wild card and get bounced the first round, and the consistent cycle of the Saints refusing to tank. Then I had 49ers minus 6.5. I don't know if the Seahawks are good.
No, Brock
or
Purdy's ass.
Or if Brock, yeah, I don't know. I really thought them coming back full healthy would have been a good, this would have been a good bounce back with Chris McCaffrey having a second full week back. It just didn't work out that way. The only person that really shined in that game on the 49ers was Juwan Jennings. So
He's a
it is
baller.
what it is. Yeah, he's a monster.
touchdown
He's
in
going to be a
Super
good addition.
Threw a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
And he caught one.
Is he still on his rookie contract, or am I tripping?
I don't think so. I think they extended him.
Did they?
I don't think they
Okay, 'cause I
gave
was
him a ton of
wondering,
money
if
though.
Yeah, if he's going to go into free agency anytime soon, I'd have to look at his contract. Somebody's going to pay him. I don't know if it's going to be the 49ers because they have a ton of weapons that they're going to have to pay. But I also picked the under 49.5 in that game. Pretty chill. Didn't really stress that game very much. Then I had the Lions minus 13.5. Shout out the Lions for 54-6, 52-6 game.
Not drive a car, brother.
52-6.
52.
Yeah, that was like watching Alabama play like Kent State in like the second week of which I think is crazy because like the NFL isn't built to be like that. Like that's not. So it wasn't. I'm interested to see how. I don't know if the Lions or if it's a mix of the Lions are just that good and the Jags are just that bad. But it seemed like every time, like I would look up, there would be another touchdown or a long pass happening, and that was kind of like, well, and also fun fact, Jags were winning this game at one point. If the game had ended 10 minutes into the if the game had ended 10 minutes into the first quarter, then the Jags would have won. So,
It was actually about 8 minutes because on the 7th minute, the Lions just drove down and scored.
I think it was. Honestly, I think it was just a case of a really good team that's really bought in versus a team that's bad that's really not bought in and doesn't want to.
I don't know how Doug Peterson still has a job.
Yeah, I don't know how he didn't get publicly executed.
I get that like your entire team's hurt, and I get that like
he's done. He's done. I just don't know if they want to do it during the season. That's the only thing I can think
There's
of.
nothing else to look for.
I think they hold on to him just to keep tanking until the season's over, and then
I think that's what it is too.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be Lions is my Super Bowl. They're now the new favorite, the first time in franchise history to be the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Fun fact. So there's that. And then Detroit and Jacksonville over 47.5. Even if the Jags didn't score, this game would have been over.
Even if they didn't show up.
Yeah, for real. Just keep riding that over. I had Chiefs plus 1.5. The Bills fucked themselves. The Bills winning this game fucked their playoff hopes. They're toast.
About his take.
This happens every year. They should have lost this game so then they can win in the playoffs. It's impossible to beat Patrick Mahomes twice. It's just not going to happen. I mean, they fucked themselves. Yeah. I mean, it's the fact that the Chiefs. I'm actually shout out Josh Allen for performing like this with no Kincaid and no Keon Coleman. The fact that they were able to dismantle the offense. I think also, too, that McDermott's learning from playing the Chiefs. Like, when he had that 4th and 2, I think, on, like, their 30-yard line, he could have kicked the field to go up 5, but then he also but instead of doing what he would have done last year and the year before, he went for it and was like, let me just Josh Allen be Josh Allen, and then they went up and they ended up scoring a touchdown out of it. So, him showing that is showing that he's learning and able to be like, I'm not going to let Patrick Mahomes have the ball with less than a touchdown in his hands in under 2 minutes. I've seen this story before. And then my final one was Chiefs plus 3.5. You can leave the points at the door. I wish I would have bet this money line straight up.
You said
Steelers, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, Chiefs. Sorry, Steelers. Steelers plus 3. I'm so sorry. You can leave the points at the door. Steelers win this outright. I said on the pod that I was thinking about taking them money line straight up, and I didn't do it, and I'm a fucking idiot because again I knew in my balls that they were gonna win. But yeah, that's it. And also after Sean goes over his picks, I want to talk kickers real quick. Unless we can go over that now.
Oh, let me go through my picks. We'll talk plenty of kickers.
All right.
We'll talk plenty of kickers. Let's start on Thursday. Eagles over 26.5 team total. Terrorist of the week is Jake Elliott. There's no other. There was competition. They tried to catch up to him. He still wins. I had over 26.5, and this motherfucker misses a extra point and 2 field goals. Literally, any of them go through, and this hits.
7-point swing.
Just make the extra point, and it still hits. So yeah, Jake Elliott is the terrorist of the week. There's competition, but congratulations. Let's give it up, man. They tried to catch up to him, but
congratulations, Jake Elliott. Expect a Wawa gift card.
Yeah, it might be.
We should start sending those out, dude. $10 Wawa gift cards to the terrorist of the week. Can we put that in writing?
Can we send it out to as a request to give us Wawa gift cards? Like, you owe us a $10 Wawa gift card.
Shoot Jake Elliott.
We'll just tweet out terrorist of the week at
just Venmo request
at Jake Elliott. Venmo is here. $10 free.
I wonder if we could find his Venmo. I might actually try to do that real quick. See if we can possibly find his
That's
Venmo.
criminal.
Well, while
Keep
you do
going.
that,
You know he has to have it.
I am gonna keep going. My next pick was Indianapolis plus 4.5. Anthony Richardson. He's done miracles on me. God, these young quarterbacks. I'm pouring honey on you, goat.
Woke up at the king inside me.
Anthony Richardson, man. That motherfucker can run, man. He was hooping. Aaron Rodgers. It's like, you ever see Cars 3 when McQueen gets passed by that like new car? That's what happened in that game. Rodgers, you're cooked, man. Go sit on the sideline and do ayahuasca. It's over. Next pick, my mortal lock of the week, LA minus 4.5. They won by 6, but it kind of felt like a no sweat. That offense is good. I still think Drake May is a good player, but that New England, the rest of the roster just isn't talented enough. And LA's playing with a chip on their shoulder right now. They got their offensive weapons back, and they've been playing a lot better than they were. Big game this week we'll talk about, but we won't get into that yet. Next up was the threesome under 44.5. It was looking good. I rewatched this game, and I'm sitting there. I watched the condensed game, and there's 8 minutes left, and the Dolphins have the ball on their own, like, 10-yard line, and the total's at, what was the total? The total was at, like 31.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, how the hell does this go over? And the Dolphins punt. The Raiders get the ball back. There's 4 minutes left. It's third and goal. It's either third and goal or fourth and goal from the 10-yard line. They threw a swing pass to Madison. I think Weaver texted about this. And the cornerback goes flying at Madison like he's trying to stop him from getting the first down to save the fate of the universe. And he just runs right past him and lets him waltz in for a touchdown. I couldn't believe it. I think Weaver texted, like, just make the goddamn tackle.
Yeah.
Like, whoever that was, I I also saw that Storm Duck plays on the Dolphins now. All-time name.
Storm Duck. All-time name.
Storm Duck.
Shout out Storm Duck.
North Carolina Tar Heel, transferred to Penn State, and then in the fall before the season said, nah, and he just skipped the whole season. And now he's in the NFL. So he never played for Penn State, but he was enrolled in the school. So
good for him.
we are. But next pick, Cleveland plus 1.5. Every single trend in the world pointed to Cleveland. And to be completely honest with you, Jameis played well. He did. He threw for like he played like threw for like 375.
No interceptions.
Yeah, he played pretty well. He had 89 touchdown to Jerry Jeudy.
That was broken coverage. That was terrible coverage.
It's Jameis Winston we're talking about.
You got to give him just so he can throw the football.
Yeah, you got to give him some credit. But obviously it was the Taysom Hill game, and it's hard to guess when the Taysom Hill game is going to happen. There's 1 or 2 a year, and it's like a full moon, man.
Yeah.
And so the Browns are banned.
Mormons come calling.
The Browns are banned, but there's a caveat to the ban, and we're gonna talk about that later. Next up, Bo Nix. He's done miracles on me. I am also pouring honey on you, goat. I had these two. Oh, I don't know why Denver's favored. Oh, this line doesn't make any sense. It made sense because they steamrolled.
It didn't really. It was 2.5 points.
I explained.
It was 1.5 before game time, dude.
No, it was 2.5 before game time. It was 1.5 when I got it because I'm a genius.
But you didn't need it. They won by 35.
You could give them minus 31.
What was that game? It was 38-9.
38-6.
Do we think the Falcons are still going to win the South?
No.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
No.
But the South
Who else
sucks.
is in the South?
Tampa.
The Bucks.
They got a big
Saints,
game this
and the
week.
Panthers.
We'll talk about it. I mean, I still
We'll
have that. I have that $10 free bet on Atlanta plus 175, which looked good, and now it's a little sweaty, but they played a team that gets pressure. You just get pressure on Kirk Cousins, and you play decent defense.
Bo Nix had like 12 seconds every snap.
Exactly. I said it. I tried to help you guys, man. I went under 500 in the NFL this week. Don't listen to me. I'm just gassing myself. And then to end it, I had the under 42.5 in the Houston-Dallas game. This was sitting so pretty. It was so nice. And then with 7, I'm sitting in my bed watching this game. I'm like, man, I'm feeling pretty good right now. And I'm thinking, man,
the nicey.
I just hope there's not a pick. Like, Cooper Rush has to do is not throw a pick six. I was wrong. He didn't throw a pick six. He fumbled, and then their dumbass right tackle tried to pick the ball up and run with it, and he gets leveled. And then Houston picks the ball up, runs it for a touchdown, and then Cooper Rush throws another interception, and then they scored with 2 minutes left for no reason because they hadn't scored a touchdown in the second half in like 5 weeks. So they wanted to like tug their knob a little bit and feel happy. But yeah, the under didn't hit, if you couldn't tell. Joe Mixon, he's balling this year though. But Mike Florio,
He's wrong.
Mike Florio.
I saw Hawk put out the tweet of like, yeah, Joe Mixon would fix all of our problems.
Mike Florio, first of all, clearly hates the Bengals. This has been a thing. Like last year, I forget exactly what he said, but he said something really fucking stupid. And then this year, he's like, "Oh, the Giants are catching flag for letting Saquon walk. Why aren't the Bengals catching flag for letting Joe Mixon walk?" Because we're scoring 31 points a game. Like, to think that signing and Chase Brown has been good. Like the problem was that they were using Zach Moss over Chase Brown, not that they didn't have a good running back. Sorry, it touched a nerve. Go follow the Twitter. Maybe I'll go subtweet him after this again.
Go touch a nerve.
But yeah, that's all I had for the week. Ended up 3-4. College football saved me a little bit. We'll talk about that on the next episode. But not a great week. There were some terrorists. There was some up and down. But
Let's talk those terrorists. I have some few stats I want us to look at here.
I mean, Jake
I
Elliott.
have a stat. Through the 1 o'clock slate, I had bets on every bet that I had on a side. The kickers in those games were 5 for 10 and had missed extra points on top of that. And that includes Matt Gay, who was 3 for 3 for Indianapolis. So you take that away, they were 2 for 7. How is that even possible?
Terrorists. It's an inside job, as we like to say. Luke, who
Shout
are
out
your
Anders
terrorists?
Carlson for nailing 350 plus. Justin Hopkins is a terrorist.
Dustin Hopkins.
Yo, Dustin Hopkins. Yo, that dude, he had a 27-yard field goal. Negated from a defensive holding.
He missed it. He missed it, by the way.
He missed it. Yeah, he missed it. They move up, what was it, 5 yards?
Yes.
It made it a 22-yard field goal. Missed it again.
That's insane.
Not saying that 35-14 would have mattered, but I think it could have shaken some things up and moved, like, make some momentum. But I have some kicker stats for you here that are actually pretty interesting. So, from 2023 to 2024. In 2023, field goals from 40 to 49 yards in 2023 were made 79.6% of the time. In 2024, they're down to 76.9% of the time. In 2023, field goals over 50 yards are 68.6%. In 2024, they are 71.7%. And you're like, wow, that's interesting. Well, that doesn't seem to be with the trend. Well, if you look at the statistics from 2023 to 2024, 2023, 85.9% of the field goals were made. In 2024, 84.9% of the field goals were made. You're still saying, wow, that's still a high percentage. Well, the ones that all matter, the fourth corner field goal made in 2023, 86.7% of 2023 fourth quarter field goals were made. In 2024, those fourth quarter field goals have only been made 80% of the time. And I have one more stat from you. Season fourth quarter field goals made with 5 minutes or left in the game. In 2023, 83% of the time they were made. In 2024, only 79% of the time they're made. So, kickers aren't clutch anymore. It's not that they're really not making field goals. It's that they're not clutch. All of their missed field goals are coming within for the fourth quarter or 5 minutes or less in the fourth quarter.
I have a hypothesis.
That's
I have a hypothesis.
Hypotenuse.
You know how like in a hive, a beehive, there's the queen bee that like everyone follows around and like they all like.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Justin Tucker is the queen bee.
Yep.
And he's broken, and kickers don't know what to do.
Except for Brandon Aubrey.
I think that's a real.
No, he missed. He missed a 40-yarder.
Yeah, he did.
Even he missed.
I didn't see that. Did he really?
Did you see Eddie Pinero is the highest field goal percentage in NFL history now? He passed Justin Tucker because Tucker missed so much.
Holy shit. Yo, the Bears.
McQueen is fading.
The Bears lost a heartbreaker off of. Oh, it was blocked. But.
It was blocked. That field goal wasn't going in regardless.
No. The winds of fate were taking that straight across.
I'm tired of talking about kickers. Let's just get into the games.
Jake Elliott,
They're all
expect a Venmo request from your boys and a tweet.
For a
But we
Wawa
can go right into
sandwich.
it. Pittsburgh at Cleveland Thursday night, over under 37. We're looking at 3.5 points here, laying. Everyone's saying Pittsburgh letdown spot. Pittsburgh this, Pittsburgh that. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to have broken down coverage and let Jameis Winston throw the ball at all. Their secondary has been bad, but their corners necessarily on the one-on-one coverage haven't been terrible. I really like. I'm leaning this here. I feel like I should take it now because I feel like I could see it going up before tomorrow. But the -3.5, I think it looks great. I don't think the Steelers let Jameis Winston move the ball at all on them, and the Steelers are just going to develop a good run game and a pass game. I mean, Cleveland has a decent defense, but I don't know. I really like Steelers side here, -3.5. They're a great team.
I don't have anything in this game. The only thing I'm looking at is I'm getting the total here at 36.5. The only reason I think this line is so low is because the Browns didn't put up points last week, and that the Steelers only put up points via field goals.
It's supposed
But,
to be
I mean-
40 degrees and pouring too.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a pick in this game. I think the Steelers should win this game. The Steelers scheduled. I mean, they're a brink team for me. They still have to play at the Bengals. They still have to play the Bengals twice. They still have to play at Eagles, at Ravens, and the Chiefs. So
That's
they gotta
insane.
really
Oh my
test-
god.
Yeah.
They got a gauntlet coming. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they shake out after those games. But I mean, they're a brink team for me. I don't put them as a contender, as a championship contender quite yet, but they're a playoff team.
So I said the Browns are banned.
No way, dude.
They're a band.
The Browns are banned outside of divisional games. I took the Browns plus 4.5.
All right, I'm gonna take the Steelers -3.5.
I took the Browns plus 4.5. Underrated aspect.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Underrated aspect. Russell Wilson played like hot garbage on Sunday.
Yep.
He did.
You did.
You know what his average depth of target was? Do you know what it was?
It was probably had to be like 13.
Weaver, Weaver, what do you
13
think
yards.
Russell Wilson's average depth of target was on Sunday?
7 yards.
5.5.
Wow.
That was close. What did Sam say?
Sam said 13 because he's an idiot.
Yeah, because he's a moron. He doesn't watch ball.
All right.
But yeah, this is just one of those ugly, ugly, ugly spots. The weather's ugly. It's in Cleveland, an ugly city.
Jeez.
It's two teams that play ugly. It's two quarterbacks. One of them's playing better right now than the other one, and it's not the one that you would think it would be.
Stop it, dude.
Am I lying? Am I lying? Russell Wilson had like
No,
negative.
Russell Wilson's playing better than Jameis Winston.
Not
100%.
not on Sunday.
Not in a week, but
One
do you
week.
want to look at the stat line from Jameis Winston playing the Chargers?
Yeah, well, that's the Chargers. The Chargers have arguably the best pass defense in the league, and the Ravens. Sam has been harping repeatedly about how the Ravens have a terrible pass defense. A terrible pass defense. A terrible pass defense.
They do.
They couldn't throw on it. They couldn't do it.
It's a divisional game.
It's another divisional game on Thursday on short rest.
Look,
Thursday night football road games for Mike Tomlin. 2-8 straight up.
So you're telling me if you had to rank quarterbacks, you would have Jameis Winston over Russell Wilson right now?
No. But I think Jameis
Okay,
Winston.
yeah, that's what I thought.
You think he's playing better off of 1 week?
I think
He played
You're
better
right.
last week.
he
Okay,
played better
last
last
week.
week. Yes, that's
Okay.
what I meant. I'm not saying he's having a better season. I'm not saying he's a more talented player. I'm saying he played better last
You
week.
just needed to specify. That's all you need to do is
Yeah,
specify.
And we're on a
man.
short
Don't
week,
get so
and it's
crazy.
and
Why are you so angry?
Well,
Why are
we're
you
still-
so angry?
Just take it easy, man.
oh, you guys got
Come on,
the
relax,
interrogation light on me, man. Where is she?
Relax, man.
Sorry. Another thing, teams off
Rachel.
teams off of a straight up win as a dog on short and then going and playing on short rest right afterward since 2003. 98, 126, and 10 against the spread.
Blah blah blah. Stats.
AFC North dogs in divisional games since 2018. 48 and 31 against the spread.
It's
It's the Browns with Jameis Winston.
They beat the Ravens at
The
home.
Browns have been the Browns for the last 30 years, so I mean, we can't blame Jameis Winston. They've been through the gauntlet.
But they have-
They
quarterbacks.
beat the Ravens at home.
They've got the Infinity Stones of bad luck. They had Deshaun Watson. They have Jameis Winston. They're the fucking Browns, dude. They're the Browns.
I'm not saying they're gonna win.
No,
I
yeah.
I
took
can't
plus
wait for
4.5.
Jameis Winston to be like the Raiders quarterback next year, and he's gonna be a
Yeah,
monster.
no,
over there.
Shador.
Shador wants
They
to go
told
to
me
the
bust down
Raiders,
my
dude.
AP. Perfect timing.
Anyways, are we good on this game?
Plus 4.5.
Yes.
I
It's
just
not my. All I'll say is it's not my
Start
mortal
on
lock.
these hoes, man.
I
Start on
just
these hoes,
put
man.
in -3.5.
This
so
game's gonna get ugly.
It is between me and Sean too. We're gonna fight
We're gonna
with our toes.
with our.
All right,
What's
Suck
next?
each other's
Dallas
toes.
at Washington Commanders. We're looking at a lot of points. We're looking at 10.5 points. The over under is 45.5. No idea. No clue
No
at
idea.
all. Dude,
No
I'm
clue.
like Helen
Hawk
Keller
got
on
that
this
look on
one.
his face like he has something.
No.
No,
I just think it's so funny that this game is so.
I really do think they beat him by like 2 scores or more, though.
I think they're gonna kill him, but
I
I don't
think
want to
they're gonna
bet
kill
it.
him.
I don't want to bet it.
I don't have the balls to put down 10.5, but I really think they're gonna.
It'll be like the least shown game on Red Zone on Sunday.
Dude, I would definitely look. I would look around. I don't know. I would look around. I would look around and see from like touchdown scores because I feel like a lot of people are gonna score. I would pick your favorite touchdown.
Brian Robinson's gonna be
Touchdown
like
by
minus
18.
250 to score a touchdown.
I put him in for 2, dude. They're gonna drive down on him. But are we good? Do we even want to talk about this shit?
Yeah, pass. Nah,
Yes.
pass.
I just.
pass. I'm not
Please,
gonna talk
just
about Cooper Rush.
give me a little bit of Trey Lance, please. I just want to see it.
Yeah,
I just want to. I just want to. They said they'll have some packages for him. Just give me a little bit, man.
just let him play against
Just give me
another
spare
young quarterback.
change
Spare change.
and coochie. Sorry.
All right. Moving on. Sean likes that. Detroit is going into Indianapolis. We're looking at 7.5 points as a road favorite, almost 8 points, and the over/under is 50.5. I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a bad spot for Detroit. I want to say it, but then they're just they defy all odds. They're just
We've been down this
It's
road.
never a bad
I know
spot,
they
for
just
sure.
they now guess what their average points per game is up to now?
I don't even want to know.
36.3
Yeah, I was
points
about to
per
say
game.
it's something crazy.
Indianapolis' defense is awful. They gave up 27 to the Jets. Okay, the Jets who have been struggling to score over 15 points in the last 3 games. They've scored 6, 9, and 13, and now they score 27. And it's indoors, so it's not like they have to play in any harsh conditions. They're playing in prime.
I like that now. Weather is affecting. This is the first week where weather's starting to come into the play
I
for
love
some
it.
of these games. I love it.
Right,
Football
but
weather.
but we're getting perfect weather. And the Lions' defense, it can be
And it's
locked
in a
down at
dome.
times, but it gives up points. I don't know if I want to lay over. I don't know. If Detroit scores 42, which they might, I would be fine with taking the over 50.5. But I don't know. I don't have anything right now.
I'm glad you say that because I have the over in this game. I'm gonna keep riding the over. I've been riding the Lions over and has yet to fail me. So, Anthony Richardson, please don't strike me down for saying that. I hope you have another good game. But also, I have a hot take as you talk about the Jets. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna be a New York Giant next year. Just that's
Whoa.
my quick hot take. That's my quick hot take. After some
No,
reading,
that's
I
a
think
cold
that's my hot
take,
take.
dude. Holy shit.
That's
How's
disgusting.
that a cold?
That makes me want
how's
to
that-
throw
You think
up.
he's going to be in New York? New
Yes,
York's going
he's
to
not
draft a
gonna want to
quarterback.
move and leave New York.
They're going
No, he's
to
gonna come
draft a
over there.
quarterback.
That makes
They might draft a quarterback, but they're still going to bring over Rodgers on a cheap deal because Rodgers is old and hasn't proven anything in New York, and for the Jets at least. And the Giants are going to pay him a league minimum, and then he's going to not league minimum, but they'll probably give him a qualifying offer.
Where did you see this? Did you think this yourself?
I've been seeing it all over I've been seeing it on the Twitter, and I've been seeing it on a bunch of different Giants and Jets report channels that they think that he's just going to walk across the locker room and be a Giant next year because Jets probably won't re-sign him. Jets are going to rebuild again for like the 12th time in 11 seasons, and then they're going to, they're a draft a quarterback. The Giants will rent him for a year, and then they'll draft a quarterback to learn under him for a year.
Yeah. Fair. Sean,
That's not a terrible that's not a terrible take to say. I don't think that's anything that's like crazy. Who else is going to want to take a risk on him?
You would pay.
Who else is going to take a risk on him? The Giants are desperate. They just paid fucking Danny Dimes the 4th string quarterback. He's legit on the practice squad.
He's the emergency third.
They made Tim Boyle. They made Tim Boyle the third string.
Oh,
Drew
they're
Lock the
done
second
with
string,
him.
and
I
they
thought
made
they were
Tommy.
benching him.
Yes, and they put
Yeah, Drew
DeVito
Lock's
at the
backup.
starter. Still, which I feel so bad for Drew Lock. I watched his interview in the locker room after, and they asked him like, "You were the second string, so why do you think that like you wouldn't be the first string now?" And he goes, "Those are questions I'm asking myself to this day." He goes, I don't know. I think it's because Giants are putting asses in seats, and I think that putting DeVito at the starter, they're like, let's just money grab for the last 7 weeks of the season while we can, and then I think that's really what they're doing.
Fair.
Drew Lock might go in every couple drives, but Hawk, you got anything in this game?
Yeah, let's get ugly. I got the Colts.
Nothing about the Jets.
I got the Colts plus
Lions.
7.5. Take me to the promised land, goat. I'm fading the Lions again.
How did that? Yeah,
It hit
I feel
by
like
the hook
Anthony
last
Richardson
time.
is like Voldemort. I feel like Anthony Richardson's like Voldemort. Every time we say his name, something bad happens.
That's
Like
my
now
goat.
that we
I
switched
keep
here
on.
to-
Yeah, you need to stop saying his name. I'll keep talking about
I
him.
know.
That's my guy right there. Yeah, it's too many points. And I think that the Colts are the motivation factor for the Colts is different. They brought him back in. They looked good last week. Their defense is underrated. I think the Jets only had like 290 yards last week, and they had nothing in the first half until the last drive. So I think the score was a little bit misleading to how good the Jets offense played. Spoiler alert, it wasn't good. And I think Anthony Richardson, it's like with that many points and with a team like the Lions, you need somebody that's going to bring a little bit of variance. Like you can't just go in with someone who's just going to do exactly what the playbook says. Like, oh, there's another dump off. It's the perfect dump off. Like that's not how you beat the Lions. You need somebody who's going to make big time plays and keep you in games. And I think Anthony Richardson's that guy. But at the same time, he could also be the guy that throws the 5 interceptions. Well, maybe not 5. That's Jared Goff, actually.
Instead of hitting the dump off, he's gonna throw the.
He's gonna his average depth of target's gonna be like 18. It's gonna be like 18. He's gonna be chucking the ball, and
Josh Downs is gonna eat.
Yeah, and
he's gonna have targets.
He is. And they looked pretty good last week. I know that the touchdowns were on Anthony Richardson. They were on the carries, and he can run that ball, and they like him running that ball. And he looks good running that ball. But
Jonathan Taylor also had less touches than Cam Akers did.
Yeah, and that's also not how you beat the Lions, because look at what the Texans did. The Texans pulled away at the start, and then they just decided to keep giving the ball to Joe Mixon on early downs over and over and over again, and it didn't work. And you let them creep back in, and then they backdoored you like Meemaw. But, yeah. Anyway, a couple stats, because I'm the stat guy. The Colts are 13-2 against the spread as home dogs of 6 or more in the last 30 years. Anthony Richardson is 6-2 against the spread as a dog in his early career. And big home dogs of at least 7 are 65, 42, and 3 against the spread since 2020. It is the Lions. They beat the trends. They beat them all year.
This Lions team is an outlier for like stats like 30 years or so. Like,
I know, but at the same time, I think they're ballooning the spreads a little bit in that aspect.
100%.
I mean, 100%.
And I think it's a market high for the Lions, I think, because they just beat a team by 50 and they don't play in the SEC, they play in the NFL. And so I just think it's a whole touchdown at home. Sure. Do I think the Lions probably win by like a touchdown or by 6 or something? Sure. But do I think they win by more than one score? No. That's why I have money on Indianapolis plus 7.5. Plus, I really like Anthony Richardson. I like rooting for him. I'm not going to bet against him.
I just want to agree with you. We both said it was like, why didn't you start him the other week? Why didn't you start him? I don't even know why they put Flacco back in, dude. He's your young quarterback. You just die with him. Like, you let him go out there and play, and he's showing out now. I mean, he beats the Jets, and, he beat a pretty decent defense. They're underperforming a little bit, but he beat a decent defense, put up 28 points, 4 touchdowns. So, let's get rolling. Kansas City is in Carolina. 10.5. Like,
it's down to 10.5.
Yeah. I think it was at 12 at one point.
I saw it at 10.5. It's the only thing I ever saw.
I saw it at 11.5.
Yeah.
I know that for sure, or at least 11.
Also, the over/under moved a 1.5. I wanted to take the over at 41.5. Now it's at 43. So I kind of missed out on that one. But I just don't.
The same thing. I didn't want to do it.
I don't trust it.
It gave me an icky feeling.
Yeah, it still does. But like, if the Chiefs are legit, they beat the Panthers 35-7. If they're legit, they beat them 35-7. And I don't think I see that. The Chiefs always just do enough to get by. Like if the Panthers somehow score 14 points, they're just going to outscore them 24-14. They never take initiative to beat the shit out of people. They always do enough to stay 2 scores ahead. And then they run the ball, they bleed the clock. Andy Reid, I mean, kudos to him, he's a great coach. But like I don't know. You talk about being the best team, you're winning games, but you just lost to the Bills because you don't have any firepower weapons. I mean, Travis Kelsey's not washed, but he's not the same as Travis Kelsey. Um,
Just having a bad year.
yeah, your wide receivers aren't anybody to run home about, especially after your quarterback blew out your best receiver's ACL with a jump tackle into his kneecap. Um, I don't know. I think 10 has a lot of points, but then at the same time, looking at it and saying their defense is elite, they just have to score maybe 17. They could beat them 17-6. I don't know.
I have a bet in this
Oh
game.
no.
Tell me you took.
Panthers plus 10.5.
Yeah. That's
What do you think?
I took it. I think Bryce Young's feeling a little nicey. He's had 2 wins in a row now. I mean, don't call it a win streak, but
I won't.
I think if Kansas City was playing at home, I think I either wouldn't bet this game or I would take the points with Kansas City. But not saying that Panthers is like a place to play in, but I'm saying because it's not just because it's explicitly not at home off of a big loss against the Bills. I mean, Andy Reid could be coming out like, let's just punch these kids in the mouth because we just got embarrassed in Buffalo. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Bryce Young's starting some stuff is starting to click a little bit. He's got a good connection with Leggett. I think he's feeling a little nicey. I don't know. I feel like he's going to be able to at least compete within 10.5 points.
Dude, we're talking about the top 2, top 3 defense in the league.
It's good.
Okay, I heard a stat. And I can't remember the stat, but it pointed to the fact that the Kansas City defense is not that good unless the Chiefs score over like 28 points or something like that. So I don't think the Chiefs are as good of a defense as we think. So
Well, Spags is a
remember the specific
genius,
stat.
though. We're not gonna over.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I don't know. It seemed like one of those. Like again, I'm not a nerd. I don't look at stats. I bet with my balls and I watch ball.
Crazy.
I
Right.
mean,
Some guys like numbers, man.
I bet with my balls. So
All right.
I put my balls on the line and they've paid off. Who's the only one here above 50%?
Okay, here we go.
Your boy.
Put down the
All right,
lattes,
49.
man. Pick up a water.
But all
That's the
right.
boy. That's the boy.
Pick up a water, man.
Yeah, there's Bush Lights. We are not sponsored by you. They
This
taste
stuff
like
is
shit.
water.
Yeah, you mean the unnamed light lager
Yeah.
that Weaver is
No,
sipping
it's
on.
Bush Light. We don't drink that shit.
No, they have
It's
to pay.
water.
They have to pay for the mention.
No,
free
no
shout-outs.
mention. Don't drink Bush Light.
No free shout outs.
Don't drink Bush Light.
Why you're shooting down our sponsorship opportunities, man?
I'm trying to
Yeah, man.
what do
come
you
on.
call it? Reverse psychology, and then hey, drink Bush Lights, and then, hey, I love Bush Light.
But Bush Light
You just
also
gave away
is
our whole
part of
plan
the-
now,
No,
too.
but that might be reverse
All
psychology.
right. Well, I don't have a bet in this game. I was thinking the same thing about the over, as Sam said, but it just made me feel icky.
It slipped away.
It made me feel real icky. I'll tell you what. If Kansas City would have won that game last week, the Carolina would have been a hammer spot. Because this probably would have ballooned to like 13 or 13.5, and I definitely would have been on Carolina. Probably not a hammer spot because they let me down so many times this year. But
Are they a banned team? I can't remember.
they're not banned. They're not banned because I like Bryce Young.
They're terrible though.
They're like, I hesitate every single time, but they're not banned.
He's feeling nicey.
I like Bryce Young. He's also my QB4 on fantasy right now, but we'll ignore that. Yeah, I mean this covers the big home dog thing, but it's also like I would bet Kansas City, but I just don't think I don't love how inexplosive their offense is. And I know Pacheco might be back this week, but we don't know how he's going to be.
He's slated to come back this week, but he's going to be on limited reps.
Yeah, I mean, he
They're gonna
broke
save
his
him 'cause they have
leg.
Because they have a
This
they
isn't
have
like
the Thanksgiving Day game or the day after Thanksgiving. I think it's a Friday game. I guess
like this isn't an ankle twist. Like he broke his leg like a month and a half ago.
This is real life, man.
Like this is real life.
I mean, he was 6 to 8 weeks timeline.
Yeah,
so
so
that makes sense.
I'm not betting on this game, and I probably won't watch it. But Bryce Young, just catch a win one time, man. Eat a W.
All right. Are we good?
I'm good, man.
All right.
I'm great.
I really like the over still at 43, but I don't know. Moving on. We got Minnesota in Chicago. Over under 39. I'm going to tell you straight up right now. I already took the under 39.5. I'll go right into it. The Bears in their last four, guess how many they scored? 19, 3, 9, and 15. Um, one team has scored more than 20 between the two of them in the last 4 games, and that was Minnesota. Bears only average 18.7 points per game. And like Luke said, we were talking about good weather. Now we're getting to the fun stuff. Bad weather. They're going to be in Chicago on a sloppy, shitty field. It's going to be 40 or below 40. Minnesota only averaged giving up 17 points, and that's indoors. This game is going to be let's bring the word back, a rock fight.
I don't know if we said it last week.
We
man.
did not.
Damn.
We talked
Yeah, we
about
did.
it.
We did. I said it. I said it.
Oh,
last
thank
week,
God.
and then
Thank
we brought
God.
up how we always talk about
But
it.
No wonder you won.
That's why I have a good week.
Yeah, under 39.5. I love it. It's already moved down half a point. I think it'll move down another half point. I think it'll go to 38.5 because the weather's just probably going to come in a little bit of inclement weather. But none of these teams score. Vikings, they don't score either. And the Bears showed off some really, really good defense. They should have beat Green Bay in that game, but kickers are all of them are on the watch list. They might be on the list. Shout out Ben Weaver, but this is going to be a sloppy game. This game's going to be like 15-9, 15-12. It's going to be almost all field goals, and there's probably going to be a handful of missed field goals too.
I don't have anything in this game. I don't have anything to say about it either.
Damn it. I really wanted you guys to convince me to do something here. I'm staring at, what's the line at?
3.5.
I'm staring at Chicago plus 3.5. Dude, I've rewatched this game too. Caleb looked good, man. I don't know what kind of voodoo evil magic that their offensive coordinator Shane Waldron was doing, but they fired him and they looked like a competent NFL offense.
I liked him yelling at the sideline to go for it on fourth down, and then they went
Yeah,
for it,
man.
and
Like he looks like he wants to
converted.
play football now. Like DJ Moore even kind of looked like he wanted to play football. And he looked like he didn't.
Yeah.
The last thing he ever wanted to do again was play football the weeks before. But
The plan is to just give him like 4 completions in the first quarter, so then he doesn't like want to bitch about how he never gets any balls.
all right, cool. He's on my fantasy team, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But like Minnesota's going to get pressure. The Bears' offensive line is still not great, but Caleb, statistically, he had been really bad against pressure all year. He was at like negative 0.6 EPA per dropback against the pressure all year. And then this last week, he's positive against the pressure. And against the blitz this past week, he was a whole point per dropback, 1.03 positive per dropback against the blitz last week. And he got the ball out faster than he ever had before. I think it was like 2.4 per dropback when the rest of the year he was at like 2.9. So like they finally said, hey man, you can run. You can, like, he was taken off. I think he was their most effective rusher besides DeAndre Swift's big 40-yard touchdown, which was kind of fucking sick. Their left tackle steamrolled somebody. But yeah, I'm really staring at Chicago. But at the same time, I do believe they're on the ban list.
Chirac.
I am a man of my word, but I'm also not. I'm I'm staring at it. Follow the Twitter. That's all I'll say.
Follow the Twitter.
Like a fat kid.
Shout out to Twitter at not so hot takes _. Also follow the YouTube at not so hot takes with 2 S's at the end. Be putting out some content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just spam rage tweets during the Bengals game, and then I subtweet
100%.
Mike Florio.
That's what a true fan of the sport does.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We all clean on that one.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
move
we
into a
did.
fun one. New England is walking into Miami. Okay, we're looking at 7.5 now. 7 earlier.
This
Over
one's
under
fun.
46. This is really fun because I took Miami -7. Okay, call me crazy, but Miami keeps looking better and better every week. Denver is 2 games up on Miami. They've played an extra game than Miami, but Miami's got to win this game. And part of that is going balls to the wall. You're not letting any play slip away. I think they beat the hell out of the Patriots. It's got blowout written all over it. I mean, the Patriots have no wide receivers, no tight ends. Their running back is below average. They average giving up 22.5 points per game. Dolphins D keeps looking better and better. And they beat the Raiders by 15, who have a sleeper defense like we talked about. and they beat the Rams by 8. The same Rams that just beat the Patriots. And the Dolphins they're better in almost every single category than the Patriots. They might be better than the Patriots in every single category on the field. I took -7, and I feel really, really good about it.
Lucas,
I don't have anything in this game. I'm sorry. I don't have anything in this game.
Drowsy over there.
you gotta lock in, man.
Them
I know, man, I'm
unidentified
sorry.
lights, man.
I don't have a pick in this game. Obviously, the Patriots are banned, but I do like Drake May. But I do have some stats that you're gonna like,
All right.
and I just have them because I figured
it.
I figured you might have it. So Tua against the spread against teams under 500 in his career, 18-11. Tua against the spread as a favorite of 6 or more, 11-4.
Love it.
In non-night games in that same situation, he's 11-2.
Woo!
So Tua, a good spot, a good guy to back here. I rewatched their game last week because obviously, like I said, I was trying to figure out how the hell that game went over. They can't pop plays down the field. It's kind of mind-boggling. The best they're gonna get are these
Which
intermediate.
is like their
big
entire
routes.
offense is built to do that.
Yeah, it's like their biggest plays that they're making are dig routes like 15 yards down the field, and a lot of the time,
Wide receiver screens to Tyreek Hill.
yeah,
and
like
then
these
just let
dig
him go
routes
to
used to
run.
pop for like big gains, like it would be catch and runs, and they're just not popping right now. I don't know if it's Tua, I don't know if it's defenses simply just adjusting to the scheme. I don't know if it's Tyreek Hill getting a little older. I don't think that's what it is. He still looks pretty fast, but there's something going on there. I will say A-Chain looked pretty good running the ball last week. I don't know if he looked all that great in the past. The stats didn't point to that great, but last week he looked pretty damn good. Yeah, so I'm not backing Miami just because it's like they don't look like the same team that was the number one score. Obviously, they're not the number one scoring offense like they were last year through 9 weeks, but it's not even remotely looking the same. And I'm still a little mad at them for scoring that stupid ass touchdown with 3 minutes left to go over. So, fuck you, Johnny Smith.
Well, moving into another fun one, we get to see what? Why am I blanking on his name?
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, the mob is still very much alive, and that is why Drew Lock is not playing. I'm convinced. The mob said, "Hey, you're playing DeVito. I don't want to hear
Play the Italian.
Tampa Bay, well, -6 now. I'll tell you straight up again. I took a -5 earlier today. The over/under hasn't moved. Tampa Bay, though, I mean, the people who put these lines out, they think that Danny Jones, Daniel Dimes, is only worth 1 point. They think he's only worth 1 point, and I think that is incredible. The Giants suck. Tampa Bay's back is against the wall now. They just got to win, win, win. Tampa Bay almost beat Kansas City, Atlanta, and San Fran without any of their wide receivers. I think Mike Evans is slotted to come back this week.
He's back.
The New
He's
York
back.
Giants lost to the Panthers. I'll say it one more time. They lost to the Panthers, and no,
In the Germans.
in Germany. And I'm not mixing up the Panthers with the Titans. If they lost to the Titans, it's okay. Good defense. They lost to the Panthers.
Two game not winning streak.
Yeah.
Like you said, Luke.
New York Giants, they're going to fire everyone. Their organization is just in the shitter. This has got blowout written all over it. The mob's taking over the New York Giants, and they're going to start Danny DeVito until he's 50.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I'm gonna tail that as well. I had him at 5.5 actually. I mean, I don't think that like the Bucks aren't a bad team. Like I think they're gonna run the table in the NFC South. Like if you look at their games, lose by a field goal to the 49ers, which like I know like 49ers haven't been good this year, but it's still the 49ers. They lost in overtime to the Chiefs, which again, NFL's overtime rules need to be changed. I know they're changing them for the playoffs, but they need to be changed all the time. I had two bad losses to the Falcons, which I mean, like we want to say they're bad, but still the favored to win the division. Lost to the Ravens by 10, where their entire team like went to the hospital. I think that this is going to be Baker Mayfield's going to show out for this game. I mean, I think that the entire team except for DeVito are kind of like checked out for the season. DeVito's ready to shine, and ain't nobody gonna catch a fucking ball. So yeah, give me the Bucks here in this spot. I like the Bucks. Do something stupid, Hawk. I know you want to bet the fucking Giants. Come on.
No, aren't they on the list?
No, they're not on the list.
I thought they screwed you multiple
He wants
times.
he wants to bet the fucking Giants.
think I've
I
bet
can
the
see it in
Giants
his
all
stupid
year.
little eyes. I can see him in his
I
stupid
thought you
little
did against
eyes.
the
He wants to
Commanders.
bet the Giants.
And they missed because they missed a
Oh
two-point
yeah,
conversion.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I bet them.
Come on, you stupid fuck. I know you want to bet the Giants.
Jeez,
Come
dude,
on.
relax.
All right, man. Just because I like numbers,
And my identified light.
I'm not betting in this game. If I were to, it would be the Giants, just because I like backing backup quarterbacks. They're fun. And the drop off from Tommy DeVito to you say they thought he was worth a point. Do you think Daniel Jones is worth a point?
I think he's worth -2 points.
So
it should have went down to -3.
that's what I'm saying. But what's the over under at right now?
Atrocious. It's 41.5.
It
That is,
and it hasn't moved.
that is too
Yeah,
low.
it's
It hasn't moved.
ugly.
That is too low. Because I was going to say that both teams coming off the bye, and so the under with both teams coming off of a bye at the same time since 2014 is 21-11. And it makes sense. More time for the defense to prepare for these offenses. But at the same time, now the Giants switch quarterbacks, so Tampa Bay only really has 1 week to prepare for the Giants offense. So that's probably a stay away spot for me. One thing, Baker off of a bye in his career, 1-4 against the spread. Brian Dable off a bye, 2-0. There's your numbers, bitch.
Also,
Yeah,
Danny
fuck
DeVito.
But yeah, I ain't got nothing.
All right. Well, for the last 1 o'clock slate, this is kind of like we can put the fire alarms on right now. I saw this game earlier at 42.5. It's plummeted to 40.5. Tennessee is walking into Houston. The spread has moved wildly too. It's 6.5 Houston. Now it's 8. So I don't know. I didn't check any. I didn't see any injuries. Nothing. I don't know what's going on in this game. But they're expecting Houston just to beat the ever-living shit out of the Titans and somehow knock over 40. I have nothing, but somebody please explain this to me.
Well, what happened is
I don't have anything
the
either.
Texans beat the shit out of the Cowboys, and the Titans couldn't move
A
the
Cooper
ball.
Rush Cowboys.
Yeah.
Do you think the Titans would be better with Cooper Rush, or do you think they're better with Will Levis?
Dude, you could put Cooper Rush on like Eastern Michigan, and they'd probably get worse. I gotta save one of my picks for this one.
Oh no!
Somebody talk me out of taking Tennessee in this game.
Oh
win?
no!
No, not to win.
Oh.
Not everything's about the money line, brother.
Sorry, man. Leave the points at the door.
No, we need the
Put
full-
the money
we need
in the bag.
You know Tennessee's 1-9 against the spread this year.
They're awful, dude.
Yeah, but 1-9 against the spread is like unbelievable.
And they've had 2 double-digit spreads.
like that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Someone talk me out of not taking Tennessee. They're staring at me.
Take it, you bum. You fucking won't. Your numbers talk to you like a little nerd.
I hear them, man. I hear
Take
them,
your
man.
num-
They're
take your
talking
numbers.
to me.
Take your numbers, man.
They're saying, drink me!
Yeah. Well, Luke is edging Sean right now to take the Titans.
They're
Take
staring
him.
at me.
Take him. You won't.
Break it
You
down. What are your
won't.
notes? Do you have notes on
I have
it?
a lot of notes on this.
Come on.
Read 'em
you
out,
have
come on.
numbers.
I'll sit
I know
back,
you
I'll
do.
listen,
Come
come
on. You're stupid. Little numbers.
Give me
Let
the
me hold my
numbers.
dick in my hand real quick, and you can name.
Let
off
me
the
wait.
numbers.
I'll wait for my mortal because a lot
This
of
is your mortal?
a lot of the numbers are on my mortal in this game.
Oh my god! All right,
Oh,
never mind
no.
then.
So
Well,
we'll wait.
All right. Before we go into the afternoon slate, it's time for everybody's favorite game. Game. Guess that ticket price. I will say there's like an outlier in this.
no ad
There's a
libs.
huge outlier. No. Mama! There's a huge outlier in this. Like
For the high or low?
for the high, every game is super fucking cheap this week, and then there's one game that's super expensive.
All of them
It's
are
this
cheap?
one. It's
Like
oh.
you're not. I do not think you're gonna think what it is. Like
I have two.
So you think
Oh,
one's expensive? All the other ones are pretty like normal cheap.
I mean, there's a couple in the hundreds, but like it's only a few.
We go to
and the
MetLife
rest of them
Sunday?
are sub $100.
why are we going to
You guys didn't go
Watch
last week.
Baker,
A bunch of
dude?
losers.
And Danny DeVito.
His name is Tommy.
Oh,
Danny
It's
DeVito's the
Tommy.
fat guy from Always
He's an-
Sunny.
same thing.
He's an actor.
I feel like the only expensive one might be this one.
I'm staring at like 3 of them. It's either that one or I was looking at.
Are we doing most or least first? I thought we usually do least.
We usually do least.
I mean,
I thought we'd do most first.
Oh, we always do least. Look, I thought it was this one. Like, gotta be
For
right.
least? No, because people are gonna want to see that.
What do you think then? It's definitely not this. That might be one of the most expensive.
I was looking at that for most,
'Cause
or
it's-
it could be that for most. Because that is always expensive.
This is a revenge spot. Everyone's going to that game.
Yeah.
In Philly, or
Please.
somebody travels. No, that's not gonna be that one. Is it gonna be this?
It could be, but they're also decent. It could be that.
No, because that's expensive there, isn't
True. All right, shoot out.
it? I'm for my least expensive. I might go
Yeah, just do it.
Tennessee Titans, Houston Texans.
Oh,
It's not it.
Is it close?
It's not it. It's close.
All
It's
right.
close,
Yeah.
but it's not
On
it.
the right track.
I'm
Which one? What were the other ones we were looking at?
I'm looking at this.
I will say that is the third cheapest ticket
Hat.
in the market.
It
right
might
now.
be. If
If
it's
it's
that,
that-
we're going. Hold on. Yeah, if it's that, we're going.
No.
Come on, dude.
Hold
It'll
on.
only be like 4
I can't
hours.
just commit.
I will say it's not that.
Okay.
That is the second cheapest.
We're still going.
How much?
$42.
Oh hell no.
Damn, we ain't going to that.
The mob, dude. They bought up all the tickets and they're
Alright, my
reselling
guess-
them.
Y'all didn't go last week and it was 25. And Hawk said if it's 25, we'll go.
That's not what I
Y'all
said.
didn't
I said that.
go.
I said my feet would get a little warm.
I was also sick.
Sick of your bets.
Somebody's always sick in the Spadea house.
I
Somebody's
don't
always
wear a
sick.
shit
at all
ass jersey
times.
no more.
Don't talk about my poop.
Come on, man. We're burning
My guess
daylight.
is
You're not gonna guess it.
Just go with your gut, dude.
Cleveland, Pittsburgh.
Oh, it is.
Hey! Because of the weather. We love the weather.
$35.
We love the weather.
35 is the cheapest.
What's the most? 35.
Most expensive
What's the
now?
most expensive?
There's only two. It's got to be these two. It's got to be those two.
I don't think you're gonna guess it.
Green Bay,
This
San
is-
Francisco.
Nope.
Damn it.
That's the second most expensive.
Second? Damn. All right, go ahead.
No, that's the third. It's the third.
So
It's
do you
the
think
third
it's
most
the one
expensive.
we're thinking about?
It could be. It's either that or you guess yours.
One guess.
And then we'll do a
one
the other
guess.
guess.
Yeah. Sam gets one. Guess.
Philadelphia Eagles at Los Angeles Rams.
No, that's the second
Damn,
most expensive.
dude.
What was the last one we said?
We said this one, didn't we? Everybody will want to go there.
No.
You said that.
No, I said that's not the cheapest.
Exactly. We're on the most expensive.
Yeah, but it's not the most
Oh,
expensive.
right. It couldn't be this, could it?
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Chicago Vikings.
No, that's not it. The number one most expensive ticket on the planet right now, not planet, I wouldn't say, is Detroit at Indianapolis for $203.
Interesting.
I could see it. I mean,
I wouldn't have guessed it, but
yeah.
okay, I can respect it.
Tickets for
Oh, 'cause
tickets for
Detroit's
Philly,
close, so
LA
all
is
their fans are
Detroit's
gonna
close. AR's playing well.
Yeah.
Lions either
Okay.
they kill them. You'll see a lot of points regardless.
All right.
Philly at Los Angeles is 155. Chicago's 119. Kansas City, Carolina. What do you think Kansas City, Carolina is?
Kansas City, Carolina,
70.
like $80.
115.
I told you
Yeah.
it wouldn't be. He said it might be the cheapest. I was like, no,
No, hell no.
I don't know. I thought
nothing else to do in Carolina.
All right, on to the late slate. Let's move
All
on
right,
to the late
let's-
slate. Only
let's-
3 games.
hop into it. 4.
Just go.
There's 3. There's 3 in the afternoon slate.
No, I thought you said late. I would include.
Y'all
anyways.
argue about everything. Just
Denver
y'all-
Broncos are going into the Raiders, and I am kicking myself right now because I saw this at -5. It's at -6 now. I don't know. I don't know. Las Vegas just needs to lose out. They need to lose out and grab Shador. They're an atrocious team. They suck. Denver has a good pass rush, so they're not going to give them any time to score. Las Vegas' pass rush isn't terrible either, especially with Crosby on the side. I don't know.
Hold on, bust out my.
I think I'm going to leave Bo alone this week.
Oh, where's
Yeah,
the
I'm
fun
leaving
in
it alone.
that, man?
I was about to take
I'm
-6.
leaving.
Are
I'm
you
leaving
taking
this game
-6?
alone.
All right, go ahead.
I'm leaving this game alone. I don't have anything for the. I only have one more pick for the remainder of the week. Only 4 NFL picks on me, and it's also my mortal. So
Okay.
It's staring at me just a little less than Chicago, but the Raiders are kind of staring at me a little bit because it feels like a market high for Denver. They just
it
steamrolled the
does. It
Falcons.
does. I'm feeling you. I
Because
feel.
the
I feel the
matchup was
same
so
way.
good
Like, it
against
is.
Atlanta, that's why and they steamrolled them. It's a market high. Vegas
I'm feeling you.
didn't look that bad against Miami. Like they didn't allow any explosive plays. Brock Bowers had like 120 yards. It's staring at me. It's
Feeling
at
me?
6. If it can get to like
A
7,
much.
if it gets to 7, I'll take it. But I can't believe it's up to 6. Damn.
Yeah. I saw it at 6.5 at one point, but
Don't worry, Bo. I'm not gonna bet against you money line though. I'll keep pouring honey on you, goat. Maybe a honey pack.
Little honey bath.
honey pack. I don't even understand what those honey packs are.
There's just like
They make you wanna.
yeah, it's like
Is it like Viagra?
yeah, it's
or
like
Yeah,
those
something?
but like-
chocolates you see on Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
You split them in
No.
half and then you just
All right.
Yo, I've been interested in
All right.
this. I'm not gonna lie to
Pour
you.
one into his bush latte. I mean, his unnamed light.
Unnamed light. Unnamed honey pack and unnamed light. Pour it on me,
Crazy.
goat.
I'm pouring honey on you, goat.
Let's move on then. Arizona is at Seattle. I don't know.
This game throws me for a loop.
This is a tough one because
This is my mortal. This game's my mortal. So
How the
how,
hell?
dude? Both lines are insane.
My
It's
mortal.
pretty much a pick 'em, and it's over
my
under
mortal.
47.5.
it's my mortal.
Okay. Arizona looks good. Seattle just beat San Fran. I think only because San Fran played like shit, if we're being honest. San Fran made a ton of mistakes. Seattle's last 2, they scored 34 against Atlanta, 24 against San Fran. Seattle gives up
It's my mortal.
in their last 5, in 5 of their last 7 games, they've given up 26 plus points, 24 points per game the entire season. Arizona, in their last 3 games, scored 31, 29, 28 with, I think, a better defense than Seattle, if we're being honest. I took over 47.5. I took over 47.5. I think Gino has a lot of confidence right now, and Arizona's rolling. So I think we're going to see a lot of touchdowns. I think we're going to see a lot of scoring.
All right. Well, Mr. Mortal over there, we'll just skip right past him. He talks a lot of numbers, and you don't give him shit.
I mean, Sam's numbers don't mean shit.
I know.
He breaks out these numbers and then had
Bro.
2 wins.
This guy's
last week,
confident.
so.
He's 51% for the first time in 9 weeks.
He's just mad that you just took
Bro,
Mortal.
we were all at 35% after 4 weeks, and we've climbed from the depths.
Me and Sean have been sitting at 45 the entire year.
Dude, I really have.
All right, I was at 35% after 6 weeks, and I've just been betting with my balls, and my balls pay off more than fucking stats like a nerd.
All right, well, bring the stats up, nerd.
All right, so teams off of a straight-up win as a road dog versus a divisional opponent are 68, 46, and 4 against the spread in their next game.
Spread's 1.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
Well, who's favored?
The Cardinals.
Yes. So.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Kyler Murray off of the bye is 1-4 straight up and against the spread in his career, and he's 5-9 against the spread when he has extended rest. However, Geno Smith in the last 2 years at home against the spread, 3-10. Ooh, that's ugly.
Someone called the fire department.
Did you say that you think Arizona's defense is better than Seattle's?
Right now, it's playing better. Yes.
I disagree. I like Seattle's defense more than Arizona's. So I lean Seattle here, but I don't think I can.
Rex.
I don't think Geno played that well on Sunday, to be honest. He made the plays down the stretch.
He hit him with the Steph Curry, though.
He did, yeah, and more power to him. He didn't play bad, but I don't think he played out of his mind. I don't know. This game throws me for a
Don't
loop.
bust down my AP.
Even the stats do, but
I do like Arizona a lot. money line. It's minus 112.
I faded Arizona a lot this year, and it was working really well, and then they just started beating teams, and it made me sad.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll move on since Luke doesn't have anything, or it's his mortal.
No,
Mega.
I do have.
He
something,
has
but right now-
everything.
What were you saying at the end though? Right, your mortal max.
That's how we do it on the
Wait,
show.
wait. I might be retarded. Arizona, Seattle. I don't have
Apologize
anything.
right now.
You're canceled.
I don't have anything.
You're canceled.
I don't have anything.
Apologize.
I don't have
There's
anything in this
no
game.
way.
It's the next game that I have my mortal in. It's the next game that I have my mortal in.
You're canceled.
Not this one.
You're actually canceled.
Nothing.
You have nothing in
fault.
this game, and you said the R word.
My fault. I'll keep it in. It's on me. I'll keep it in.
Keep it in your pants, man. Moving on.
Get a room.
San Fran at Green Bay.
I'm in a room.
Over under
This is my mortal.
47.5 +2 -2. San Fran, this is a huge bounce back spot. And we talked about that little rough stretch they hit. Maybe I was a little bit off, just a little bit. This is the week they're going to come out and get going. San Fran probably played their worst offensive game on Sunday. They're top 10 in points per game, 25 flat. They scored points. Green Bay also had a bad offensive game. They averaged 25 points per game. They have a good D and good offense, and neither showed up. I think Dr. Love and Mr. Brock Purdy are going to score points. I took the over 47.5.
This is a game I dove really deep into. I rewatched that Chicago. I spoke about it a little bit on the Chicago side, but I rewatched that Green Bay Chicago game. Green Bay's offense looked really good. Like, they were driving. I don't know how they only scored 20 points. Jordan Love, he threw one bad interception, and he got pushed out at the 1 yard line on 4th and goal, both in the red zone. Obviously, the one in the red zone, but the pick was also in the red zone. They were moving up and down the field. I think Jordan Love had like 0.52 EPA per play, which is very high level quarterback play. That throw to Christian Watson where he like dove, and Christian Watson played out of his mind as well. I don't want to overlook that. All of their targets are looking really. I mean, Romeo Doubs didn't have a great day, but Jaden Reed and Christian Watson are playing like with their hair on fire right now. And San Francisco, when are we going to stop saying, "Oh, but they're the Niners, so it's fine"? Like, what are they? 5 and 6?
Probably after Sean McVay gets fired,
That would be
which will never
That'd
happen.
be the
Kyle
Rams.
Shanahan. That would be Kyle
Yeah.
Shanahan.
Close.
Sorry, why am I? I'm so dumb.
It's okay.
I'm so
You
dumb.
might be
It's
just
okay.
drunk.
We forgive you.
I'm so dumb.
We forgive
No, I meant Kyle
But
Shanahan. It's my fault.
we're just gonna keep saying, "Oh, but it's the Niners. Oh, but it's the Niners. Oh, but I think this is just who they are, and I think they struggled against the Seattle offense with Geno Smith not playing at an extremely high level, and I think that the Green Bay offense is just an upgraded Seattle offense, and I think that this sets up really poorly for San Francisco. So if you can read between the lines, I took Green Bay -2.5. I'll go through some of my notes here. A lot of it is kind of explaining how I think that Green Bay's offense is just kind of an upgraded Seattle offense. First of all, Jordan Love playing much higher level football than Geno Smith right now. They only faced 6 late down plays as an offense in the Chicago game. Do you know how insane that is? Like, they had 6 plays on 3rd or 4th down on offense, not including field goals. That's insanely high offensive play. So San Francisco struggled to guard the 3 weapons for Seattle and Jigba, Metcalf. I mean, Lockett didn't really do too much. But now you have to face Green Bay, who has the better quarterback and has Jaden Reed and Christian Watson playing at a really high level, and they still have Romeo Doubs to fall back on, and they still have Dontavian Wicks to fall back on, and they have a much better offensive line than Seattle. Seattle's offensive line blows. Green Bay's offensive line is probably top 5 in the NFL, at least in pass blocking. And Josh Jacobs is playing at a pretty high level, and they have 2 more backup running backs that could come in at any time that are playing at like an average level, which is all you can ask for out of a backup. So yeah, they only put up 20 points. We could talk about how they only put it. They played much better than that showed. Plus, San Francisco, Nick Bosa, we don't even know if he's going to play. That hip injury, we don't even know if he's going to play. And if he does, we don't know what level he's going to play. Brock Purdy got banged up during the game. Kittle's coming back off of an injury. We don't know what level he's going to play. I just think that the matchup right now is just, I think San Francisco is in a bad spot as a team. And I don't think this is like a situational spot. I think this is just a bad spot, like roster-wise. I don't, and they have to go to Green Bay. We talked about the weather a lot. Who knows what the temperature is going to be in Green Bay? Excuse me. But now for a couple numbers. Did you know this is the second time in Brock Purdy's entire career he will be an underdog for a game? Do you know what was the first time?
Chiefs Super Bowl?
No, he was favored.
No, Eagles playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And he tore his UCL on the first drive, and they
Mm-hmm.
lost by 31. So this is hopefully the first time that Brock Purdy will play a full game as an underdog. So we don't know what he will look like as an underdog, let alone on the road. In games after throwing for 150 yards or less, Kyle Shanahan as a coach, 0-4 the next week. One stat to go against me, though. Kyle Shanahan, 9-2 against the spread after blowing a 4-point lead the week before. So the numbers aren't exactly in my favor.
You're making me want to take Green Bay -2.
This isn't exactly a numbers thing for me, but it's more of a roster and how they're playing right now. And I think that the market's even a little low on Green Bay just because, and a little high on San Francisco because we're going to keep saying, oh, it's the Niners. And we're going to keep saying Green Bay only put up 20 on Chicago when they easily could have put up 30.
Arguably better defense than San Fran, too. Chicago.
Oh, yeah, especially right now.
Yeah.
And Green Bay went up and down the field. The question marks will be on the defensive side of the ball for Green Bay, don't get me wrong. But I just think Green Bay is going to be able to put up points on this San Francisco defense, especially at home. So I have Green Bay -2.5. Dr. Love. Dr. Love, give me some love.
We move into Philadelphia going into L.A. This is my mortal lock of the week.
Day for a Sunday night.
Love it. This is my mortal lock of the week, so I'll let you guys get after it.
I don't have anything actually for this game.
You're not getting.
I don't.
He's not getting after it. I don't actually have anything.
I don't.
This game is hard. Because historically, this is a spot where Jalen Hurts plays his worst football until this year. He's struggled on the road in these big games. But this year he's looked good on the road. I mean, he looked really good in Cincinnati. He looked good last week in Dallas. Was that last week or whatever that was?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Thank you. LA, their offense is coming back into form of what we know. But the Philly corners are playing at a high level. Their defense is arguably the best in the league right now in the last 5 weeks. I'm probably just going to watch this game and have some fun and subconsciously. Nah, I won't even say that.
We good? Nothing? You have nothing?
We good. Nothing.
Moving to the last game, Monday night. Okay.
I'm going to get a
Dun, dun.
freak out of this.
You're going to be like the Colts guy. You're going to get fan of the year for singing
This
all
is
the
our
intros.
Colts.
This is our team. We bleed
I'd sing him
blue.
out the stadium, bro. He couldn't touch me.
All right, I think he is. Anyways, Baltimore's walking into LA. This is I don't know. I've got no idea. I want to say
This game's weird.
I want to say that the Ravens come in and just absolutely donkey stomp the Chargers, but the Chargers have really figured it out. And I mean, their pass game looks good. Herbert is controlling the pocket and then scrambling really well. He's picking up little checkdowns. He's also rushing himself. He had like an 18-yard rush. I don't know. I've got no idea. I want to say the Baltimore Ravens come back out and just like I just said before, this is a get back spot. But the Chargers are just rolling. I didn't even bother to look at the stats for this game because I'm not betting on it. I just want to watch. I stayed far away.
I'm staring at the over, 50.5. But the only reason I'm staring at it is because it feels like a trap to bet the over because it's like two teams like where Herbert's not really throwing a lot of picks. The Ravens offense is really good. The Chargers offense have looked really good recently. Feels almost like a trap, and I don't know. Like I almost want to sprinkle a little bit of the Chargers outright because I think this could be their first. Like everybody's kind of like, oh, the Chargers are good, but I feel like they haven't had any really keynote wins yet this season, and I think that this could be their first kind of like keynote win that uh kind of launches them into that upper echelon of like a contender almost. And so but I don't know. This game's goofy.
Yeah, you're expecting probably what I expect of what's Lamar Jackson putting up the same numbers as Burrow, or maybe more. I mean, Burrow put up how many on LA?
Like 340,
Yeah, 340, and they scored what, 28 points? Should have been 34.
27.
Yeah, should have been 33. Two missed field goals. I mean, that's what I expect in this game, but I really don't want to go after it. I don't know.
I got Baltimore -3. This just feels like there was what game am I thinking of earlier this year?
Denver and Atlanta.
Yeah, no. Obviously, I watched that whole Chargers game last weekend. Who are they playing? Who knows? Tale of two halves. If there was ever a tale of two halves, good God, they torched they torched they torched us in the first half. Could you believe it, man? You were pissed, I'm sure, man.
Man, I was pissed, man.
Yeah,
My
man.
Bengals, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, they
yeah,
looked great in the first half. They looked terrible in the second half. They couldn't move the ball. They couldn't move the ball on a defense that has arguably been one of the worst, like bottom 3 in the entire league all year. They couldn't move the ball. I just think that, like you said, it's a bounce back spot for Baltimore, and I mean, it's the Harbaugh. We haven't mentioned that yet. We got Harbaugh v. Harbaugh.
yeah,
So a little interesting
yeah.
side note on this game. Interesting thing for me is that Baltimore's pass rush looked better than it has all year against Pittsburgh. Their pass rush has been pretty awful. But last week, hopefully, for my sake, betting on them this week, hopefully it wasn't just a hype spot playing Pittsburgh, but they were getting after Russell Wilson a little bit. They are. I do want to say they get so many penalties, man. Like so many penalties. Them and the Titans. I watched back both of those games. Holy crap! Both of those teams just can't stay. I was gonna say out of the penalty box. Was this fucking hockey? They can't stop getting flags. So that gets me a little nervous. But the
Is
Chargers.
Kyle Hamilton still playing?
Who?
Is Hamilton still playing? Is he out?
No,
Still?
he played last week. I don't know how.
Right.
Everyone thought he tore his Achilles, and then all of a sudden he was playing next week. But
Right.
yeah, the Chargers just didn't look good in the second half against a defense that was been terrible all year. Trust me, I know better than anyone. And Baltimore, it was a tough spot. It's the Pittsburgh game, man. That game's always ugly. Something stupid's gonna happen. That was like the most devil magic game of all time. Like, you want to talk about Chiefs devil magic? No one ever mentions the Steelers devil magic. I swear to God, man. They are the 1B to the Chiefs 1A in devil magic teams in the regular season. Yeah, so I think they bounce back, and then I got a couple stats that make me feel nice and warm inside. Couple Lamar stats. Lamar as a favorite of 3 or less, or as a dog, 25-6 against the spread in his career. That's unbelievable. Lamar straight up in night games, 19-5. Lamar against the spread on the road after a loss, 6-2. Ravens all time after playing the Steelers, 25-7 straight up. It's just a spot where they show up. I think it's the spot where they show up again. I think they put their stamp of approval that they are still contenders in the AFC North. They're still contenders in the AFC, and they're still contenders in the Super Bowl race. Yeah, -3.
Love it. I guess we'll go into the mortal locks here, and I don't even feel guilty about it. I took Eagles -2.5 as my mortal lock. Rams in their last 4, 28, 15, 26, and 30. Okay. Eagles, like Sean said, past couple weeks might have the best defense in the league. They're playing like it, 100%. Cooper Jean, Quinion Mitchell. Mitchell still has not given up a touchdown. Still not. And over 280 snaps. That's insane. The Rams, well, they let up 23 to New England. 23 points to the Patriots. And they allowed 20-plus points in their last 9 of 10 games. Last 5, Philadelphia, 26, 34, 28, 37, 28. Defense has been incredible. Philadelphia, a little stat for you this year, because I'm only going off of this year alone. Philadelphia's 4-1 on the road. I think it's a no-brainer, especially if this Rams team is kind of struggling. They couldn't stop the Patriots, and it forced them to score more. But again, it's the Patriots. I took -2.5. That's a mortal lock. Love it.
My immortal lock is San Francisco +1.5 against Green Bay. That's my mortal lock. I know everybody's looking at me goofy. Jordan Love throws way too many interceptions.
What?
Yeah, Jordan Love throws way too many interceptions. I think that the 49ers are going to capitalize on some turnovers this week, and I think this is a good bounce back week after kind of having to go to war against Seattle. I think this is going to be a good bounce back spot for them, and that they'll probably end up taking this game outright, kind of get back on track.
So I guess you didn't like my numbers
Well,
I
if you
gave for
love
that
me.
game.
There's no games this week where I feel like I could put a mortal lock on. To be honest, I just was like, why? I looked at all these games and nothing was like my backup would have been the Lions over, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've used that bullet in the chamber too many times this year. I feel like at some point it's gonna dry up.
All right, well, my mortal, Sam, you mentioned it moved. I got it at 42. My mortal is the under 42 in Houston versus Tennessee. These are two of the worst O-lines in the entire league. I watched back that Tennessee game against Minnesota. Their right tackles, oh my God. I mean, one of them was Isaiah Prince, who started for the Bengals in the Super Bowl at right tackle. Oh God. And then Petit Friere, get ready to learn baguettes, buddy. You're not playing football anymore. I think he's also like a doctor or something. No, never mind. He's the one that also works for Action Network.
Yeah.
While he's playing football in the NFL. It doesn't make sense.
Incredible.
He might also be the one that's the doctor too, though. Yeah, Tennessee put up what? It was like 16 or 17 against Minnesota.
They're averaging 13 points per game.
One of their touchdowns they scored was a 3rd and 10 from their own 2 that Will Levis just chucked over, and the safety overran it, and they scored a 98-yard touchdown. So excuse that score. Tennessee had an 11% success rate on run plays against Minnesota on 18 rushes. And on 15 early down rushes, they had a 7% success rate. That is unfathomably bad. So you're probably wondering, also, Houston's pass rush is really, really good. Daniil Hunter's playing out of his mind. Will Anderson might be coming off of injury to make it even better. Danico Autry, I think he's not that hurt. He got hurt, but I don't know how bad it was. But either way, they're playing with their hair on fire. And Tennessee, like I mentioned, I have it written right here. Tennessee had 8 billion penalties last week. I counted.
8 billion.
8 billion. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. They are undisciplined, untalented, and they're 1-9 against the spread on the season. And Will Levis in divisional games, this has nothing to do with the under, but he is 0-5 against the spread and straight up in divisional games so far in his career. Not a great start.
No.
So these offense at the same time, Houston beat up on Dallas, who they gave up. They gave up. They were off they just lost their Super Bowl to Philly. They came back, played at home again. Their stadium's falling apart before the game. I don't think we mentioned that. It literally almost fell and killed 2 people. So they didn't even care. So they beat up on Dallas, whose run defense is god awful. Tennessee's run defense, actually not bad. Only a 35.3 success rate against, and only a 26% success rate against the Vikings, who have Aaron Jones, who have Cam Akers, who have Ty Chandler. Not a bad run game. So they did slow them down. So I bet on the Texans under against Dallas. It didn't hit because Dallas gave up, and they had 2 dumb turnovers at the end of the game. I know Will Levis is always down for a dumb turnover, but they're usually going to happen down the field. They're like an arm punt. It's just 2 offenses not playing at the highest level with really bad O-lines and decent defenses, and both their pass rushes are playing pretty well. I just like the under here. Plus, it's a divisional game. Div unders, everyone knows about divisional unders at this point. And it's moved down, like you said, 1.5 points since I took it. So makes me feel a little warm and fuzzy.
CLV, baby. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We had a lot of CLV going on here tonight. A little bit of something else that Luke usually does. But thanks for tuning in. Just give a like and a follow. It would mean a lot to us. We love you guys. We also love Bo Nix. Shout out Bo Nix. Jake Elliott, look out for the tweet. We're Terrace of the Week, dude.
We don't love you right now.
No, you owe us $10.
You can save us. You can save it, but we don't love you right now.
People are gonna see TOTW and they're gonna think, "Oh, team of the week."
Terrorist
Nope,
of the Week.
terrorist of the week.
We'll just put a picture of Jake. Never mind. Thanks for tuning in. Luke, Sean, ending thoughts? Anything?
Nope. Good luck. Have safe bets and don't go into bankruptcy over what we say.
Yeah, please gamble responsibly and don't let anyone bully you for being a nerd, man. Numbers are cool. Numbers are fun.
We love nerds.
All right, you could be a nerd, man. There's nothing wrong with that. You might end up wearing a shitty cornerback's jersey during your podcast, but besides that, they're cool and fun.
Nerds are awesome. We love you guys. Speaking of nerds.